Hey, welcome back to the YouTube channel again. I'm back again with yet another deck tech. I'm still excited about the whole new set. It's fantastic from my point of view. I've had a really good stream this week. On Sunday we did a stream where we played some of the decks that I've talked about this week. So you can go back, find that. Twitch links down below. So go and have a look, see. Find the one from Sunday. Anyway, this is deck tech number 5 for the new set. And we're going to a completely different thing. The last two have been about dragons. There is another Dragon Wars one coming that'll be out next week. But this one today is all about a different type of deck. And one of the other legends I was really excited to see was this one. It's been a while since we had a good zombie wizard. Let's put it that way. So, without further ado, here is Ratadrabik. I think that's how you say it. Ratadrabik of Urborg. 2 white and black for a 3/3 legendary creature zombie wizard. Has vigilance and it has war too. Great start. Other zombies you control have vigilance. Yep, okay, cope with that. So, zombie deck. Maybe not. Whenever another legendary creature you control dies, create a token that's a copy of that creature, except it's not legendary and it's a 2/2 black zombie in addition to its other colours and types. Hello! At last, a good commander from my point of view. There has been some good black-white commanders in the past, but this one is exceptional because it is asking you to play as many legendary creatures you can fit into your deck, and that is what this deck does. And it is actually really quite exciting how broken this gets. Okay, the 2/2 black zombies aren't the best things in the world when they die. They come into play, they're not great. You're going to get them killed off. You know that, I know that, we all know that. However, the excitement for me in this one is the fact that it's the legendary creatures only that get copied. And you want them to get copied because a lot of the black-white legendary creatures are ridiculously good. And if we can get some of them back through other means, we could have 2 copies in play of the same creature, which will cause a world of pain to your opponent. So, this is the deck, and this is what I'm going through today. So, start with the lands, black-white lands as you expect. I've got Cabal Coffers in. Mainly because down the bottom here somewhere we've got Urborg, so everything becomes a swamp when we find it. So we've got a few swamps, not many. We've got more plains, because I'm playing the plains because we want to get the creatures back into play from the graveyard when they die. So Emeria the Sky Rune is in the deck, and that's how we're going to try and kick this off. But everything else is either black, white, or just white. Ijano Castle's in as well, because occasionally I've come to the conclusion you may have moments where you need to save one of your legends from dying from direct damage, and you may not want to get it in the graveyard, may want to keep it in play. There's a couple of creatures that applies to in my mind, so I'll put Ijano Castle in just so I can prevent the 2 damage if and when I can, so that's why this is in the deck. As for the ramp side, we haven't gone too heavy. We've gone with Soul Talisman, we've gone with Soul Ring, we've gone with Arcane Signet, the black and white diamonds, and Orazov Signet as well. That's enough ramp for this deck, I think. We've got a lot of stuff down at 2 and 3. There's a few ones, but not many. It's when we get further up. But by the time we get later into the game, hopefully we'll have this in play. And we can always bring things back. And I've got ways of recursing the cards from the graveyard back into play. So let's just go through what's in the deck and see if you think I'm right or not. And you can let me know in the comments down below. So Legion's Landing's gone in, gives us a 1/1 vampire which helps in the early game, but when we get to attack with 3 creatures we flip it and we can make more tokens. Seems like a cunning plan in this deck. We want a little bit of early defence and we want something to do in the late game, because at a point we'll get to a point where we'll have enough lands out that we can do this and trigger other things as well, so it seemed like a plan. Path to Exile I went with for this deck instead of Condemn. I decided on PTE basically because we want to get some of the creatures actually removed. There are going to be some creatures that we're going to come across that we need to take out, which is why this is in here. Yes, it's only 1 for 1. We have got some mass removal coming up shortly, but this one is the one I decided to go with just so we get a bit on one-on-one stuff. The first recursion card I've put in the deck is Call from the Cellar. It's got flashback, which is nice, and we're just returning a creature card from our graveyard to our hand, and then we get to put a +1/+1 counter on a zombie. If we've created a zombie with this, when one of the legends has died, we get to make that zombie a little bit bigger with this, and then we get to flash it back later in the game. So we get some of our legends back as things go along, so it's good. I've dropped in Senses Divining Top into here, purely because, yeah, we're not running that many ramp sources. We are running 37 lands, Talisman, Soul Ring, the Signets, and the Diamonds, so we've got like 6 ramp. We want to try and find, and we want to try and find lands occasionally. Yes, it is higher up. We could play more ramp. I could have gone down the road of putting Mana Crypt in here, Mana Vault in here, but I'm trying to avoid doing the expensive stuff for this deck, so this is why I've kept it simple as possible. So Sensi's Divining Top is purely here just so we can dig down into the lands. I've chucked down a Fencer in so we can bump up our creatures as they come in. That makes the legends a little bit more durable. That's the only reason this is in here. Again, it's a replaceable one. Jada Ghoul Caller of Nephilim's in here because it gives another zombie. Yeah, that zombie can't block because it's got decay, but we can have it in anyway, and it's still another thing. And actually, when this dies, if Ratadrabik's in play, it gets bigger when it comes back, which is really weird. Grasp of Darkness to deal with those annoying 4/4 flyers that we're coming up against a lot. You know, dragon tokens, angel tokens, so on and so forth. This is a way to get rid of them if we just needed to kill one. Ali is in here. We can sack a creature, gain some life. We can sack the tokens if we need, but it also gives us a sack outlet to get our legends into the graveyard to trigger the zombies if they're dying. Bear that in mind. I've also put Karloff the Ghost Council in here. We've got two types of Ghost Council in here. This is the first one. And when we gain life, we get to put some +1/+1 counters on it. And if we can get it up to having 6 +1/+1 counters on it, we get to exile annoying creatures. Seems like a cunning plan. Yes, when it comes back, it's still a 2/2, but hey. Can't be the bigger all the time. Adele's in here. When it attacks, gives us creatures. Seems like a plan to me. We need more defense, hence why this is included. Pinnan's in here just to give us a pump when we're attacking. You know, we are going to be attacking with a Nomad Captain. It will pump our legends as well. So let's go for it. Drana Liberator is really good. You've probably seen me play this a few times now. I really do like this card if I'm playing anything with black in it and I can make it work. Getting in with that first strike damage and pumping all your other creatures that haven't got first strike is a real bonus. And don't forget, when Drana deals first strike damage, it also gets a +1/+1 counter on it because it is attacking to do it. So it's really good from that point of view. Chucked in a few Planeswalkers. Liliana Heretical Healer's in, mainly because A, it's a legendary creature, so we could get a copy. I have no idea how we flip it if we get a copy, but I'll worry about that when I'm playing it in the game. But we get it in and we can return non-legendary creature cards. Is not what this is here for. It's here for the +2, so each player discards stuff, and it's here for the -8. You get an emblem. Whenever a creature dies, return it to the battlefield under your control. Remember, if it dies, we still get the trigger, the token trigger from Ratun, so we'll get the token copy and the original legendary guy. This is a really key card. We need to try and get this flipped as soon as possible and protected. Arya the First of Lochvan is in here as well. We might as well have it in here. We are getting black creatures come in and out, and we might as well get a little bit of life and drain our opponents. Atheros is here for the same idea. I don't expect it's going to be a creature that often, but you know, paying whenever another creature dies, return it to your hand unless target opponent plays 3 life. You still get the die trigger, and they've got to decide whether it's going to go to the graveyard or you're going to have it back in your hand to cast again. Works for me in my head. Kambal Consul of Allocation. Again, this is one of the other key. It's usually one of the cards you see black-white commander decks having. It comes in, it does the non-cast. They tend to play a lot of non-creature spells to do all the draining as you go around it. I'm playing it in here just for a little bit of annoyance factor, but we'll see how it goes. Mortify to take out an annoying enchantment or take out an annoying creature. I've put my promo copy instead of the one with the text on it, so I'll just flick it up on there. Likewise, Vindicate's in for the same reason. This can also take out Planeswalkers, which could be a key problem with this deck. If someone gets a really good Planeswalker out and we need to destroy it, we've got to really hope to draw our Vindicate. I've also included Aron, Benelia's Rune. It seems to be same group, same new card, but it's uncommon, this one. This one's quite good as well. It's another sacrifice outlet to get our, if our legends are blocking, we need to get rid of them so we can get the triggers in. It's got menace and sacrifice another creature, and you get to put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. I think this is going to be very good. This may need its own deck tech on its own at some stage, but I'm trying to get through the rares and the mythics at the moment, so we may come back to Aaron at some stage and have a think about that. Mangara the Diplomat's in here. We're going to get attacked by 2 creatures. We're going to get opponents casting 2 spells. Let's draw the cards. We need some card draw in this deck. It's going to be the one thing that slows us down, hence why Mangara's in here. Day of Judgment's in as mass removal. I'm not going to say any more about that. Lilvana, the Keeper of Silence, is in just to stop our opponents activating creatures. We've got to slow it down somehow. How we're getting beaten up, hence why I've put this in. Settle the Wreckage, another mass removal thing. Yes, it does benefit our opponent as they attack us. However, if you're facing lethal damage, what would you do? Cast Settle the Wreckage, die. Me, I'll be casting Settle the Wreckage, Stay Alive, and see if I can't deal with all the stuff they're going to cast off the lands. Notice, unless they've got an ability to untap all their lands, they're coming into play tapped, so you've only got to worry about them on the next turn, so it seems like a cunning plan. Eberos is here as well, another indestructible god. Hopefully we can get this turned on quite quickly. Your opponents can't gain life, we can pay one and a black and 2 life and draw a card. Simple, nice, legendary creature. Damnation's in, another mass removal. I've put this one in so you can't regenerate from it. We're not seeing much regenerate on MTGO at the moment, so it's a bit of a slot, but it gives us a bit of difference from playing the white ones. Elenda the Dusk Rose is here. We are going to try and sacrifice creatures. We are going to get +1/+1 counters on her. When she dies, we get the vampires. They've got lifelink, which will hopefully keep us in the game a little bit longer. Philessa, Fang of Silverquill. I've got a little bit obsessed maybe with this card. I tend to play it in anything that's got black and white in it at the moment. But this one's special in here because if we've got a legend and we sacrifice it off and it's a non-token one, we're going to get the zombie token and we're going to get our nice little tapped Inkling counter. It seems like a reasonable plan to do it in here if there's got counters on it. And we've got ways, especially Elendra dies, or if we've managed to do something with Aron, we can do that with it. So we should be able to get a few tokens which may help us survive a little bit longer. KO the Ghost Assassin's come in. Exile it, exile a creature, return it to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning. If you're next upkeep, you lose 2 life, that's fine. But the -1's quite good. Each opponent loses 2 life, you gain 2. Gets them sucked down a little bit. -2 is probably never going to happen, just so we're clear on it. We've got, where are we up to? Sorin's come in. Sorin, there you are. Just so we can give our creatures lifelink, gain some life, stay in the game a little bit longer. And obviously we can do the -X thing and return creatures from our graveyard to the battlefield if we need to. Tez of Karlov's in here as well. It might be, whenever if a creature dying causes a triggered permanent or a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. So it is possible with this and Tezza, we're going to get 2 zombies. I don't know, haven't played the deck yet, I've just built this and I'm filming it as I finish building it. The Ghost Council's in, have it come in, gain some life, target opponent loses 1, we gain 1, exile it, bounce it in and out. If we've got something down, if our opponent's maybe playing Moat or some other way we can't get through to attack, this does give us an outlet to sacrifice some creatures off and just drain them in and out if we need to, so we can try that. AO the Dawn Sky's in, just for the +1/+1 counters so we can trigger Felice more than anything else. But we've got a lot of permanents that cost 4 or less, especially down this end, so we might get some cards off it if we need to. God Eternal or Ketra, we're going to be casting creature spells. Let's have some zombies, seems like a plan to me. Burial Rites is in as well, just for the flashback effect, so we can get the creatures back from the graveyard. Bontu's in. Really, I'm not sure why. I just want to play Bontu, to be perfectly honest. It's got Menace, it makes it a bit difficult to block. It's fairly good. We can sacrifice some permanents, draw some cards. If we've got Ratu in play, we can sacrifice the Legends. Do you get the theme yet? Am I talking to myself? I think I am. I'm not going to talk about it anymore, you know what I'm talking about. Junai the Midnight Sky's in as well. We can get creatures back from our graveyard and get Legends back. Most of them aren't dragons, so it's really good from that point of view. Massacre Girl to control the board. And obviously if our zombies die, they trigger this as well. Hopefully this won't resolve until after all the triggers are resolved, but we'll see how it goes. I've chucked in Obnixilis the Black Oath. I had one. I decided I haven't played it for a while, so I thought I'd chuck it in. And, ooh, it moved. I hit my hand on it, apologies. There you go. No, not that one. That one, there we go. And also the emblem's really good if we can get there. Sacrifice creature, gain X life, draw X cards, where the sacrifice creature's powered. Could be useful. Whether we're going to get there or not with Obby is a different matter altogether. The other version of Obnixilis is here as well. Mainly for, again, it's got the emblem. Whenever a player draws a card, you lose 2 life. You give it to your opponent. It's really good, especially if they're playing some sort of massive dual deck. And then we've got destroy target creature, so that's coming for that. Araved the Curse. There's no. If you're playing all these black-white legendary creatures, might as well put this in and make them bigger. Yeah, why not? It's no brainer. Likewise, Ravel's Soul Tenders in for the same reason, for the +1/+1 on the creatures. And it also helps us if we've got stuff in the graveyard, we can bring it back to our hand. Seems like a cunning plan with this deck when we do want the legends to go to the graveyard, so let's go for it. Shadrick Silverquill's in. I haven't played much of it. I liked it from Strixhaven. Let's just go and try it out in here as well. Thalis Reverent Medium is quite nice. We are going to be sacrificing our creatures off. So when we sack them off, we get to get spirit tokens as well. Meh, let's do it. Get some extra blockers in. Variant Butcher McGann's in. Vigilance lifelink, pay 7 life, destroy target non-land permanent. Only activate only during your turn. Yeah, only against our turns a thing. You've got to wait a turn to use it as well, but it's got vigilance, it's got lifelink, and 7 life in this deck is a bearable amount, so we can do stuff with it. Lisa Forgotten Archangel is reading because it's a legendary flying creature, and I was a bit worried that we didn't have enough flyers in the deck outside of the dragons. But it has a nice little couple of triggered abilities. Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, return it to its owner's hand at the beginning of the next end step, so it's another way of getting the zombie tokens and getting our legends back from our graveyard. And it also means if our opponent's creatures die, they get exiled, so they don't get to go to the graveyard. Seemed like a bit of a no-brainer when I thought about it. And likewise, Lisa's Shroud of Dusk, the variation. Pay 2 for each time. It's not in the command zone, but whenever a player casts a spell, they lose 2 life. It really does become a big target, and you've got the flying and the lifelink. It's a little bit bigger than its namesake from the main set, but hey, let's go for it and see what happens. Elspeth's in for the -3, destroy all creatures with power 4 or greater. I'm quite happy to take mine out as well. The soldier tokens will help, and if we can get it up to 7 to give everything +2/+2 and fly, I'm going to be a lot happier. I put the Ever version in Vala in as well, just so we can get the extra life if someone's got more life than us, which is quite likely with this deck, and someone's probably going to have more creatures than we have at some stage, so the 3/3 Angel White creature token will help as well. Grave Titan, because it's a black deck, why wouldn't you play it? And we like zombies. Zombies have zombies get vigilance, so we might as well have the Grave Titan in as well. Kukushku's in, kill it off. Everyone loses 5. We gain what, 15 if we've still got 3 opponents, and then we get a zombie token version of it if we've got this in play. Yeah, okay, we'll do it again. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Sengir the Dark Baron, haven't played it, had it for a while. Once to put it in a deck, here it is in a deck. We could have partnered, we could have just done this deck with Baron Sengir and, where has he gone? Ravos as well, because they're partners, but no, there's no fun in that. Let's do this and we'll keep Radric going. Athreos the Shrouded Veils in. At the beginning of your end step, put a coin counter on another target creature. Whenever a creature with a coin counter on it dies or is put into exile, return to the battlefield under your control. You can do it to your opponents and creatures as well. Bear that in mind. So if they've got something that's annoying, you can try and nick it and kill it. But it's also another way. We get the zombie token, we get our legends back. It seems like a bit of a no-brainer to me. Elesh Norn, because we're playing a legends deck, and why wouldn't you play Elesh Norn to keep everyone happy? Same with Sheladred. Keep everyone happy. Well, keeps us happy. Probably won't keep our opponents happy, Sheladred and Elesh Norn. And then Primeval's Glorious Rebirth. Get all the legends back from our graveyard into play and have fun. Likewise, that's why Rise of the Dark Realms here. Dark Realms, really, so we can nick everyone's creatures and bring them back. So that's it. That's kind of my really quick deck tech for today. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'm now filming this at the start of September. It's, well, it's not quite the start of September, it's 4 days into September. If you've enjoyed it, give me a follow here on YouTube. Leave me a comment, tell me what I've missed out, what you would have put in over the top of some of my other cards. I think the mana base needs work on it, I know that already, but we're going to play it and see what happens. But in the meantime, I'd also love it, it's September on Twitch. Go over to Twitch, the link's down below. Come and give me a follow on Twitch. I'd love to hit 150 followers before my birthday that comes up in early October. And if you could just go and hit that follow button, I'd be really grateful. And if you can even, if you've got an Amazon Prime subscription you're not using on one of the other guys, I'd quite like that as well. Please, thank you. Nice little birthday present, just for 1 month. You can give it back to someone else after that, but let me have it for a month. But anyway, that's it for now. Hope you enjoyed this video. Like I say, leave the comments down below. All the information, deck links, everything else are down there as well. And I'll see you hopefully soon on Twitch when I'm streaming. Take care. Bye.